Hi there and welcome to today's Pleasure Beach Experience video. In a recent video from the Pleasure Beach I mentioned that on the way out of the park me and Becca managed to pick up a piece of the big one which was replaced over the winter last year. Now I thought I'd show you that and a couple of other ride parts that we've acquired from the big one over the last few years. Now here we have a piece of the old lift hill from the big one. This is to certify what it actually is. Now it's very greasy and it's actually very heavy, but believe it or not, this is part of the old big one lift hill that was replaced in the winter just gone. Now the lift hill is obviously getting on a little bit just like the big one, so it needs lots of care and lots of attention. It's difficult to actually see any wear and tear on this thing, or chain link, not thing, whatever you want to call it. However, it's very heavy, so I'm not going to be waving it around in the air. Oops. But as you can see, it doesn't appear to be too damaged. Try not make a mess of the carpet. So yeah, that's a big one chain link. They're actually on sale at the Pleasure Beach in the shop under the flying machine, so if any of you want a piece of the history of the big one and you're into collecting your ride parts, then why not? Why not pick up a big one chain link? It might sit well in your garden or in your bedroom or wherever. So yeah, I won't show you too much of that because you'll probably get bored. Now there's one of the big running wheels, however I'm going to start with one of the smaller ones. This is actually Becca's that she picked up a couple of years ago. Now for the last few years Pleasure Beach have been selling ride parts, so getting hold of these wheels is not like illegal or anything. So this one is one of the upstops off the big one, I think. It's certainly not the running wheel. As you can see, it's got Arrow stamped in it. Arrow Dynamics was the manufacturer of the big one. However, for those of you that don't know, the big one was mostly constructed over here in the UK. Lots of the track work was made at Watson Steel and by the company who's working on the current new ride, Addison. Anyway, so as you can see, hopefully, this wheel has had quite a bit of wear and tear, so it's easy to see why the Pleasure Beach replaced it. But it's nice to sit in the collection. I think it'd be pretty rubbish to buy one of the wheels with no wear and tear on. Actually buying one with all this marking on it just shows how hard these things have to work when they're being run full tilt, when the big one's open all day and on two trains. Hopefully the camera's picking up the wear and tear. So moving on, we have the big running wheel. Now this one I didn't actually purchase, the Pleasure Beach gave it to me as a gift, I will say. I think the gift is the right word to use. It was at the end of our first full year of doing events at the Pleasure Beach. As you can see, it's probably had better days. All the edges are scuffed, but that's why it's not on the ride and was being taken off. So I don't know what people think about it, but I think it's a really cool gesture that Pleasure Beach sell the ride parts. It's nice to be able to take a bit of Pleasure Beach home. Again, you can see Arrow stamped in the wheel, so it must be an old one because Arrow Dynamics are long gone. So yeah, that's just a little bit of the big one that we've got at home. Again, here's the chain link. I'm not sure if you saw that the first time. Not very steady. So yeah, Pleasure Beach ride parts, you can buy them in the shop under the flying machines, but do be warned, they are very heavy and also they're covered in oil and grease, so don't pick one up and then wipe your hands on a white shirt or a white dress or whatever you're wearing, because it won't come off while you're there at the Pleasure Beach. Now moving on from the ride parts, here is one of the 1994 maps from the Pleasure Beach. I'm not sure how many of you have got these in your collection, but they are extremely rare to get hold of. Of course, 1994 was the year the big one opened, and at the time it was the world's tallest and fastest roller coaster. Also on the 1994 map, the light's not brilliant, so it's going to be difficult for me to show you. You can see just how vibrant Pleasure Beach looks on the map, but yeah, the light's rubbish. I'll do another video at some point to properly go over this map. Finally, before I sign off, another piece of Pleasure Beach history from the opening year of the big one. You've got the Pleasure Beach rulers, Mr. Funshine, and you might recognise that logo. It's something similar to our current Pleasure Beach Experience logo. Again, these are extremely rare, and you just won't get hold of one now unless you pay a lot of money on eBay. But yeah, here's our one last look at our running wheel off the big one, and the chain link, and then I think it's the upstop wheel or one of the side wheels. I'm not really sure, to be honest. It's hard to say when it's not on the train, but it's a nice touch that they've got arrow stamped in them. So yeah, that's it for now. However, we'll be doing a couple more videos where we show you our Pleasure Beach merchandise, because we do have a lot of Pleasure Beach merchandise from over the years. We've got a massive map from, I think it's 1996, which, well, it's Becca's, it's not mine, but we share it now, so we're just trying to find somewhere to put it in the house. It'll probably go in a framing on the wall at some point, but I'll be sure to get that in a video at some point soon. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next Pleasure Beach Experience video.